is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Off the top, breaking news. Chopper 4 over a police investigation in Hialeah. Police say they responded to the northbound lanes of the 826 just north of Okeechobee Road. It was to assist Florida Highway Patrol. When they arrived, officers found a silver pickup truck on the side of the road. They say there was a dead man inside. Police are asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. The number is 305-471-TIPS. Developing story, another carbon monoxide leak at Cypress Bay High School in Weston. CBS News Miami's Joan Murray is at the school with what we are learning right now.
It's deja vu here at Cypress Bay High School, another carbon monoxide leak. Now, this all came to light around 10 o'clock this morning. That's when carbon monoxide was detected in Building 1, the cafeteria. Everybody was evacuated. Everybody is all right. No one had to be transported, according to the school district. A very different story on Friday when another carbon monoxide leak was detected in the same cafeteria of Building 1. At that point, 5 people had to go to the hospital after getting sick. That included 4 staff members and 1 firefighter. In the end, the school did dismiss everyone at noon on Friday. Now, the district issued a statement on this incident today, and it reads in part: during ongoing monitoring of the building, we detected high carbon monoxide levels in the cafeteria. As a precautionary measure, immediately everyone was evacuated. They say that the source was identified and is being resolved. Out of an abundance of caution, they are continuing to monitor the building, and that because of the repairs going on, they will not serve any hot food today and will find alternative indoor dining areas. So the district made the decision not to dismiss everyone on Friday, and classes are going on as usual. In Weston, Joan Murray, CBS News Miami.
Students are back in the classroom after a gas leak at Oriole Elementary School in Lauderdale Lakes this morning. Officials say the school was evacuated as a precaution. 1 employee was taken to the hospital. The leak has been capped.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside, it is a very hot day across South Florida. Heat advisory is in effect today for Miami-Dade and Broward counties. Let's get right to Next Weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler.
Yep, another very typical summer day here across South Florida, 90 degrees, but it did manage to reach 92 earlier this afternoon. And right now it feels like 100, but it was a little bit higher than that. And we have some gusty easterly winds as well. And Naja's right, heat advisory is going to continue until 6 o'clock this evening for Miami-Dade and Broward. That feels like temperature anywhere from 105 to 110. And by the way, we've now had 40 days so far this year where Miami-Dade, 42 in Miami-Dade and 40 days in Broward where we've had a heat advisory. So we've had a lot of heat going on this summer so far. Just about every day you expect it to happen. High relative humidity, so that adds to the really sticky feels-like temperatures. And the flow, now we've got an easterly flow, a good, strong easterly flow. So any showers and storms that do develop are going to be pushed over the interior and then eventually the west coast. That's where they're developing now over Collier County, Lee County. So they're expecting to get some showers and storms this afternoon. Not so much for us anymore. Ours will develop in the morning hours along the coast and then quickly move inland. So rain chances are going to stay fairly low for the next couple of days. Look at this, 30% Tuesday and Wednesday with that easterly flow pushing everything inland. And then we're going to start to pull them up slightly. Now this weekend, again, wouldn't you know it, it's over the weekend again. We've had all that heavy rain on Saturday, picked up a record rainfall in Miami-Dade. But we have a higher chance for rain this time around because there is a mid-level area of low pressure that wants to develop and pull some tropical moisture in here. But not going to see that for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even into Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. Then you'll start to see some of that moisture increasing. Now this is still uncertain, but at this point it looks like we're going to have to push those rain chances up to about 50%. Let's go to the tropics because, you know, you would think that we'd have something going on at this time of the year, but not really. Tropical storm storms. Nothing is expected out here over the Atlantic, the Caribbean, or the Gulf of Mexico. This is over the next 7 days. We were watching, of course, the Pacific last week, but this is highly unusual right now. We're supposed to be getting very close now to the peak of the hurricane season that would occur September 10th. So we're getting close to that. At any time, we'd expect that this would start changing. So we still have a lot to go yet for the hurricane season. Don't let your guard down. Temperatures will stay in the lower 90s. Best chance for rain coming up this weekend, about a 50% chance.
New details on what police are calling a targeted shooting in Miami Gardens. Police say 20-year-old Mah'ki Cutler was killed when a dark SUV fired into his car last night. It happened in the intersection of 45th Avenue and Northwest 183rd Street. Investigators say the people inside the car were followed as they returned home from a party. One other man in Cutler's car was also injured and is in critical condition. He managed to get out of the car and run into a nearby McDonald's for help. 3 toddlers were also in the car. Fortunately, they were not hurt. If you have any information, call Miami Gardens Police. Rapper Sean Kingston back in court today, just days after facing a federal judge. The singer and his mother are accused of fraud in both state and federal cases against them. CBS News Miami's Terry Hornstein reports.
Sean Kingston and his mother did not say a word as they left the courtroom, but we did speak to Kingston's attorney, who says he looks forward to proving his client is innocent.
Janice Turner and Keyshawn Anderson.
Wearing matching white outfits, singer Sean Kingston, whose real name is Keyshawn Anderson, and his mother, Janice Turner, were back in a Broward County courtroom Monday, both submitting written not guilty pleas and both silent on their way out.
Well, he doesn't like cameras in his face.
He is a rapper.
Friday, they faced a federal judge, and Monday, they heard the state's charges against them.
A lot of them would deal with wire fraud, grand theft.
Kingston and Turner are accused of defrauding victims out of high-end cars, jewelry, and other goods the courts say they purchased using fraudulent documents. The total, more than $1 million.
We believe he's innocent. We're looking forward to trying this case either in state or federal court, or both if necessary.
Kingston's attorney, Robert Rosenblatt, says the charges in both courtrooms stem from the same crimes and that all needs to be worked out.
We advise the court we're going to be filing some motions regarding the double jeopardy issues in federal court and state court.
While the cases get ironed out, Rosenblatt says Kingston is taking the arrest in stride.
Performs, he's very good. He's been performing, and he's been doing very well. And we're confident that we'll be very successful in the case.
A status hearing is scheduled for both Turner and Kingston on October 11th. In Fort Lauderdale, Terry Hornstein, CBS News, Miami.
When we come back, a big honor for Florida International University. It's impressive rankings after the break. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Now to the race to the White House. We are now just 71 days away from Election Day. The Trump campaign is casting fresh doubt on its proposed September 10th debate with Democratic nominee Kamala Harris. A source familiar with the matter says the Trump team would like ABC to mute the microphones when a candidate is not speaking. The Harris campaign is requesting they stay on throughout the debate. In the previous CNN debate with President Joe Biden, the microphones were muted. Former President Trump started his day by laying a wreath at Arlington Cemetery's Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Today marks 3 years since the Kabul, Afghanistan airport attack. Trump is trying to tie Vice President Kamala Harris to the deadly pullout of U.S. troops. Later today, Trump will be in Detroit for a speech at a convention for National Guard Association members. Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz are launching a bus tour of southern Georgia this week. This afternoon, Dr. Anthony Fouchy is recovering at home from a West Nile infection. It spread through the bite of an infected mosquito. CBS News Miami's Jared Hill reports.
West Nile virus infections are the leading cause of mosquito-borne disease in the United States. Many areas are seeing cases, including New York City, where the health department is spraying from dusk to dawn. Former federal health official Dr. Anthony Fouchy is recovering at home after being hospitalized with an infection. CBS News chief medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook spoke with Dr. Fouchy over the weekend, who says an infected mosquito probably bit him in his backyard.
About 2 weeks before that, he had just started not to feel very well, mostly fatigue, and then the fatigue really increased. He developed shaking chills like he said he's never had before in his life, fever, and he was hospitalized for about a week.
People at risk for severe illness include the elderly and people who are immunocompromised. West Nile virus infections cause no symptoms in most people, but others can develop fever, body aches, joint pains, and a rash, according to the CDC.
And about 1 in 150 people who get infected get a more serious form that involves the central nervous system. You can get inflammation of the brain and the membrane that lines the spinal cord, and that's a much more serious situation there.
So far this year, more than 215 cases of West Nile have been reported in more than 30 states.
It's a mosquito-borne illness, so you try to avoid mosquitoes. Dawn and dusk is when they tend to bite. Wear clothing that covers your skin. You can have insect repellent, and then get rid of standing water, because in the standing water, that's where the mosquitoes can multiply and breed.
The CDC says there is no treatment for West Nile. Rest, fluids, and pain medications may help alleviate symptoms. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
This afternoon, Florida International University has a lot to celebrate. Washington Monthly today released its annual National University Rankings. The report is based on social mobility, research, and public service. Overall, FIU ranked 16th place out of 438 schools. When it came to social mobility, FIU ranked 3rd. And when it came to Florida schools, FIU ranks 1st in all categories. Congratulations, Panthers. Happening tomorrow, you have more than 500 million reasons to buy a Mega Millions ticket. The jackpot for tomorrow night's drawing is at $575 million. Nobody won Friday night's drawing. The jackpot had 8 winners by this time last year. And get this, you have less than 1 in a 300 million chance of winning. Well, now here's a look at what is coming up. All news starting on CBS News Miami at 5. Seasonal affective disorder. You may be familiar with the wintertime blues, but for some, it's summer that brings out that melancholy feeling. We talked to experts about what you can do to cope. That's all new at 5:30. That's your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.